Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me again for our weekly Hope for Babies support group. And so I'm just glad that you can join in this evening. We'll be meeting every week, so I'm just glad that you could be here. Just get as much information as you can from these support groups to be able to help you to achieve your goals. So that's what this is all about. So again, my name is Corrine Baker. I'm the founder and also the fertility coach at Hope Fertility Support and Wellness Center here in Winter Park, Florida. And Winter Park is right next to Orlando, so we're neighbors. And so I'm just glad that, like I said, we can meet and just discuss topics that are dear to you and that you have questions about. And so recently, as of last week, I'm excited about this news. We launched in the Caribbean to bring holistic services to those in the Caribbean to help them to start a family, to have babies. And it was very, very well received. We had several overwhelming response from individuals in the Caribbean. So I'm just very excited about that. And that just lets us know that we're not alone on this journey. There's women all over the world that are also going through the same struggles. And our goal is to be able to help to support you so that you are successful in starting your family. So that's what we are all about. We're holistic. Like I said, so it's all natural and here to support you on your journey. That's what we're about. So like I said, this support group is here to answer any questions that you have. So if you have questions, comment below, message me, email me at info@hopefsc, like Frank, Susie, Charlie, info@hopefsc.org. My computer's up, so I'll be checking and I'll answer your questions. But over the past week, we've had hundreds of people who have messaged us and emailed us inquiring, how do I participate in your services? You're in Florida and we're in the Caribbean. And so I'm excited to say that you can. No matter where you are in the world, we cater to everyone in the world. So how do we do that? Just the way I'm doing it right now with you through the support group. So we meet, you would meet with a doctor face to face like we are. And you would talk with the doctor and have a consultation with the doctor and address your concerns. You would have already sent in your medical records, so that will give her an opportunity to review your medical records. From there, she will develop a treatment plan and tell you exactly what you need to do to increase your chances of meeting your goals and having a baby. And so every week, in addition to meeting with her for the consultation, every week you will then meet with her and she will monitor your progress and change any herbs or any part of the treatment to ensure that you're able to have the best possible outcome. So everything is customized and tailored to you. So that is why we always recommend that you have a consultation done, because it's not cookie cutter. We don't cookie cutter, one size fits all here, because everyone has a different situation. You may all have polycystic, ovarian syndrome, PCOS. You may all have that, but your medical needs may be different from someone else who has PCOS because you may have other health challenges. So what we encourage is that you do get that consultation done. It's like any other doctor. You can't just walk in and say, this is wrong, and they say, okay, here, take this. They want to see you. They want to review medical records. They want to make sure that they're not going to prescribe you something that's going to interfere with something else or make matters worse. So that's the same thing with us. Holistic, although, we're using more herbs, which are natural. We're using supplements. There's acupressure because you're not here to actually receive acupuncture. You do acupressure, and there's other treatments that are used, but we need to know what it is exactly that we're treating, because we can't treat you blindly and not know exactly what's wrong with you. Like I said, 2 of you may have PCOS, but 1 of you may be diabetic. Another person may have another health condition, and all herbs, they're not suitable for everyone. So our doctor will actually review your medical records, Review all the assessments that we will send you and you'll send us back. Look to see where you have your deficiencies. What's wrong? What is the doctor saying is wrong? How do we treat that holistically through the herbs, supplements, diet? Diet is very important. You have to change a lot of what you're eating. Also, what else do we need to do to increase your chances of successfully achieving the goal of pregnancy and having a healthy baby? So that is what we do, and that's why it's so important. And for the majority of you that sent me emails and we reviewed all those messages and responded to you, my number one question was always, what did your doctors say is your challenge why you cannot get pregnant? Because if we don't know, we cannot successfully treat you, because we don't know how to treat you, because we don't know what's wrong. You may say, and we've gotten to this, a lot of people said they hadn't been to the doctor in so long. Well, you really don't know what's going on with you. You just know that you're not able to get pregnant, but what's wrong? Have you had your uterus checked, blood work, ovaries? You know, we need to see what the health looks like of your fallopian tubes, uterus, ovaries. Do you have any cysts? Do you have any fibroids, endometriosis? There's variables that will impact treatment, but without knowing, we don't know how to treat you. Now, you will run into people who will say, just come on in, and they will start treatments. That's a dangerous game, and we don't play it because, like I said, if you treat someone with something that interferes with something else and you make matters worse, now you have a problem on your hands. And one thing I will never do is take your money and take on that liability just to make you happy. And then in the end, you're unhappy with us because you did not get your desired result, because there was no chance in you even getting that, because we didn't know what we were doing. And so we don't do that. We provide very much ethical practices. We're a professional business that operate ethically like any other medical practice would operate. And therefore, there are certain things that we would need in order to help you and not make your situation worse. Okay, so like I said, that's why I always ask, what did your doctor say? And even if you said, well, years ago I had fibroids, okay, well, fibroids will grow. So we need to know through your medical records what kind of fibroids they are, because there's different types. Yes, they're all fibroid growths, but where are they located? What type of fibroid? What's the size? Those things matter in the way you treat them. So we need to know this information so that we can effectively target the areas that you have concerns. And so that is something I want you to be mindful of when you're asking for our help, is that we need medical records. Yes, some places won't ask for it, but we do. Because like I said, we like to tailor and make sure that what we're doing is in alignment with what your needs are and not just blanketly treating you and hope something works. So everything that we do is customized to you. And that is why we say you need to have a consultation with the doctor. It's the same thing as when you go to the doctor's office. The doctor is not just going to come out and just hand you medication for free. They want to meet with you. You got to pay to meet with them so that they can review your medical history and give you the best treatment for your situation. Okay? So you can always meet with the doctor. She is doing running a special for a consultation and 4 treatment sessions with her face-to-face over the computer for $299. That's you can't beat that price. You're getting the doctor face-to-face. You're going to get her reviewing your medical records, developing a treatment plan, ordering your herbs, supplements. They'll be shipped to you, which those herbs and supplements is an additional charge. We can't pre-set a price because we don't know what herbs you may need, what supplements you may need. So like I said, everything is customized. We don't just have pre-packaged herbs that are one set of herbs for everyone, and then we just ship those out. So we can't say, well, these herbs cost $50 and we send it to you. We customize the herbs, and the herbs are different each week of your cycle, because each phase of your cycle, your body's doing something different and it has to be nourished differently. So that's why we don't use cookie cutter herbs and just send you one pre-packaged, pre-made herb out to you. Like I said, so she will do all of that for you. That takes time, work, effort, and she will send you the order for what you need. You place your order, you get your herbs, and you will have instructions on how to take your herbs, how to use the additional treatments that she sends you, whether it's ear seeds or moxa or whatever it is. She will tell you exactly how to use it for your particular situation. So that is why it's so important. Meet with her, schedule that consultation. It's a $50 deposit to reserve your first appointment. 24 hours before your first appointment, you will pay the balance of like $24 some change. And $24.75, you'll pay the balance. And then each week, you would pay $70 something to meet with the doctor for the remainder of those 3 weeks. So your first session will be an hour long, because you'll have a 30-minute consultation, you'll have an actual treatment session, and then each week thereafter you will meet with the doctor and she will monitor your progress. So that is going to be your key to success in trying to have a baby, especially if you've been trying for a long time. You've tried everything. And sometimes why things don't work is because you've tried so much and it's not tailored to you. So you've wasted a lot of money and time on things that were never specific to your condition. Even when it comes to your menstrual cycle, there's phases. There's certain things you're supposed to be eating and doing during each phase of your cycle. And a lot of people don't tell you that. They'll say, here, take this. You take this. And that herb or supplement has no impact on those different phases that you're going through. So we customize that. Okay. So with the whole coronavirus and everyone's quarantined, most doctors right now are moving to this way of meeting with their patients. And it is through face-to-face on the internet, just like this. And so you have direct communication with your doctor. It's private. It's between you and the doctor. She keeps your medical records. She will communicate with you. And she will, like I say, monitor you. That is so important when you're dealing with holistic. You cannot just get herbs one time and thinking, okay, this is all I need. It doesn't work that way. You're trying to, when you're dealing with holistic is natural. So it's not a pharmaceutical drug that will act right away. Holistic, it takes time to correct the deficiencies in your body. The areas of weakness that is preventing you from conceiving. So now your body needs time to nourish itself. It needs time to heal, repair, and holistic takes time. So we're looking at anywhere from 3 to 4 months is what we say is your best time frame from seeing some results. I think I mentioned one of the first session I think that we did here was a particular patient tried to conceive. She was like 30, somewhere in late 30s, early 40s, and trying to conceive. Doctors said they couldn't see anything wrong. All of her lab results were normal. So there was nothing to understand what was going on. So Dr. Tynes worked with her, and she had irregular cycles and very painful cycles. But she had no fibroids, no endometriosis, no polycystic ovarian syndrome. There was nothing there that showed at all in all of her lab work and everything. It was completely normal. Egg count was good. Everything was fine. So Dr. Tynes met with her for the consultation. She started her on some cleansing herbs first month 1. Right after month 1, her cycle came on 28 days. Normal, like a normal textbook cycle. No pain, no cramping, nothing. Month 2 came on again. No pain, no cramping, nothing. Cycle was just coming on by itself, where she had had such irregular cycles for so long. Finally, it was coming on regularly every 28 days by itself. Month 3, there was no cycle. So we kind of panicked. What's going on? Gave her pregnancy test. She was pregnant on month 3. So it just goes to show you, give yourself time. And during this time that she was working with Dr. Tynes, there were certain windows where Dr. Tynes would say, abstain from any sex during this time. Don't have any intercourse. And then there were certain phases, Dr. Tynes would tell her, have intercourse during this time. And I want you to take this. And I need you to stop taking this. And within 3 months, she was pregnant and had a little boy. So it just goes to show you, give your body time to heal, repair. You have to think about all of the things that you do on a day-to-day, the toxins that we're exposed to in the environment, the foods that we eat, the chemicals that are in them. They're not suitable for conception anymore. The stress that we're under. You know, you may have a challenging work environment to work at, or you come home and it's stressful. So that does not help. So what you need to do is take time to detox, rebuild your body so that you can go on to conceive. And so that is what we do. That's our goal for you also, is to conceive. So, like I said, always, schedule to meet with the doctor. And another thing that I ran into was a lot of women had not gone to the doctor in years. And so I want to encourage you that it is so important. Women's health is so, so, so important, because you don't know that if you're not continuing or keeping up with your reproductive health as a woman and just making sure that you get checked, you have your pap smears, your breast exam, your mammograms, and actually going to your family practitioner and getting your blood work to see if there's anything wrong. Sometimes if you wait, by the time you do identify that there's a problem, it could be too late. Because some things can cause damage where you are unable to conceive. And if you're not going to the doctor regularly, you don't know what's going on with you. You can't just say, well, I feel fine. There are some things that you feel fine, and by the time you don't feel fine, it's too late. But if you had gone 5 years ago, you could have treated it and moved on. But 5 years later, now it's too late. And your reproductive health is so important to your fertility. So I encourage you, please, take the time to go to your gynecologist and have a well women's exam, your pap smear. That should be done every year. Your breast exam, because you want to know your reproductive health and what condition it's in. You can't just rely on how your body feels. There are certain things that are silent killers. Cervical cancer. By the time you find that, it's too late. So you want to go ahead of time, be preventative when it comes to your reproductive health. You're in control of that. So make sure that you're scheduling those appointments and getting that done. That way you know for sure what's going on with your body so that you can conceive at your best. Make sure your body is primed for conception by doing that. Okay. So some of the tips that I wanted to share with you is, again, please schedule with your gynecologist. If you have a fertility doctor or a fertility clinic where you live, schedule an appointment with them. Especially if you're in the United States. I know fertility is not covered by most insurance. Some employers in some states have been really kind and been able, and they actually cover it. But in the state of Florida, there is no coverage for fertility. So, but what most will cover is that first visit for your workup, your meeting with the doctor and the blood tests and your vaginal ultrasounds. Most of the time that is covered, but the actual any fertility treatments, that's not covered. You would have to take out a loan or pay for it out of pocket, but that's not covered. So you want to take advantage of, if you have insurance, go and get checked, because they will be able to look and tell you, what the health of your uterus looks like, your ovaries, how many follicles you have. Are there any growths in your uterus? Any blockages? That's the HSG test with the dye to see if it'll spill out from the fallopian tubes. That way your tubes are open, so there's no blockages. So those tests are so important. So I would recommend, please, get with your doctor, get that done, and get your blood work so you can know where you stand. And make sure you ask them to test your vitamin D level. Vitamin D and fertility go hand in hand. So it is so important. If you're low, deficient in vitamin D, and most of us are, I myself am deficient, so I take a supplement every day. But if you are deficient in vitamin D, that can impact your fertility. And so you want to make sure you ask them when they're doing your blood work, can you check my vitamin D levels? Because you need to know. And I can guarantee most of you, especially if you are of African American descent, you're going to need a supplement to take, because you're probably going to be deficient also. If you work inside most of the times, you're probably going to be deficient. So you want to get that checked, because that does have an impact on fertility. So the second thing is contact our office. If you want to meet with Dr. Tynes over the computer or your phone, if you have a camera, and get your consultation scheduled, you can call our office at 321-203-2213, or you can go on our website, www.hopefscfranksusiecharlie.org, and schedule a consultation with Dr. Tynes. A $50 deposit is required, and you can pay the rest in increments each week before your treatments and your session with Dr. Tynes. Another thing is, if you are not already doing so, I would recommend that you start taking a prenatal vitamin with folate. Folate is vital to get enough into your system to help your baby's brain development. And you want to make sure that you have enough folate so that you can prevent a lot of birth defects. So start with your folate multivitamin, and I would caution what kind of vitamin that you do choose. You want to choose one, and I'm just muting my computer. You would want to choose one that is, I prefer those that are of whole food vitamins, and I like those. They are not synthetic. They don't have dyes. They don't have all of the extra additives in there. And I don't like the artificial supplements. So I like more of a whole food multivitamin. Prenatal, prenatal has a lot more than just your traditional vitamin. But make sure you pick a quality prenatal vitamin with folate. And so that's important. If you want, we sell them, and you can purchase them from us, and we can ship it to you. And we also have supplements, vitamins for men. We have those, because if your husband, your partner, if he's struggling with low sperm count or no sperm count, he needs to start taking vitamins. And there are vitamins and supplements specifically for helping to increase the sperm count. So we do sell that as well. And like I said, we can ship it to you, and you can at least start there. But you need to take, your vitamins. That's very important during the whole time, whether you're meeting with Dr. Tynes or not. You should be on a vitamin, because you're preparing for a baby, because a baby can drain the life out of you during pregnancy. So you want to make sure that you have enough vitamins and minerals so that when they start pulling from you, you have enough to supply them and sustain yourself. So if you take at least the first 3 to 4 months before you conceive to prepare your body, you would have enough of the vitamins, nutrients, minerals stored so that you yourself can sustain a pregnancy. And so I would recommend, like I said, I like the whole food supplements and vitamins, prenatal vitamins. And we do sell those. And if you want them, just email us, call us, message us, and we can sell that to you and ship it to you. Okay. And also for your partner, if he has any sperm issues or anything like that, he needs that as well. Another thing, drink lots of water. I mentioned that before. That is so important. Herbs cannot work by itself. You have to be hydrated because the purpose of the herbs, it needs to be in an environment that will support it to work. So you cannot drink a lot of coffee and soda and things that are going to deplete you. They have no purpose, no nutritious value. So you need to have a lot of water. And I'll recommend at least 64 ounces. That's like a standard thing. If you can drink 8-ounce glasses of water a day, that's great. The more, the better. If you're active, if you work out, you're going to need more because you're going to sweat it out. So you need to replace it. So drink a lot of water, especially in the Caribbean. It's hot all the time. So you're going to need more, especially if you're outside and you're active. Another thing is start getting into the mindset of being pregnant already. If you can get into the mindset of being pregnant already, you can start to do things differently in preparation for pregnancy. So taking your vitamins, eating the right foods and the right amount of foods, getting rest, reducing your stress levels, drinking a lot of water, staying hydrated because you want to increase blood flow and to the uterus and start nourishing your body so that your child will have a fertile ground to develop in. So it's so important that you start getting into the mindset like you're pregnant. Taking your prenatal vitamins, that's a must. Whether you're pregnant already or not, it doesn't matter. You want to prepare yourself for pregnancy. And so you want to make sure you have enough, like I said, vitamins, nutrients, your folate, so that when you do get pregnant, that you can reduce the chances of miscarriages and your baby won't have, certain defects, and you don't want those issues. So get into that mindset. And last, consider a fertility cleanse. Because of all the garbage that we eat every day, the foods are not the best anymore. Like I said, the toxins in the environment. It's good to always cleanse before you even start on a holistic fertility journey, because you want to get all that out of your system. You don't want the herbs to have to work harder because it's fighting with all the sugars and caffeine and everything else that's in your system. So if you can cleanse yourself first, doing a fertility cleanse, then starting the herbs, it's even better. So we do the cleanse as well, but that is also customized. So when you're doing your fertility, your consultation with Dr. Tynes, that is something that if you want to start off with a cleanse, you could tell her that. But oftentimes she will let you know exactly what you need to start off with, just like she did with that patient that I mentioned. She started her off with herbal cleansing first, and then jumped into the fertility herbs. The fertility herbs didn't start right away. She cleansed first, and then she went into the herbs. So the cleanse is I would recommend it. It's always good to detox. And like I said, when you do a consultation, you can also discuss that with the doctor if you want to do that and get started on your fertility journey. So like I said, you can contact us 321-203-2213 if you're here in the U.S. If you're international in the Caribbean, email us info@hopefsc, like Frank Susie Charlie.org. Message us. I've communicated with, I hope everyone. I hope I didn't miss anyone. But if I did miss you, send me a message, because I think I responded to everyone that messaged me over the past week. So just send me a message if you have questions. You can always ask me if this is something that the doctor would treat, and I will let you know. If I don't know, I'll ask her and she will say yes or no. But then you will need to schedule a consultation. The doctor is not going to provide you with treatment for free like any other doctor. So you have to meet with her, and she will then guide you along the journey and let you know what you need to do step by step each week and monitor you. So that is what she would do for you. So thank you so much for joining me for this 30-minute quick support. And I hope that it's been very helpful to you. Our goal, like I said, is to see you win. We want to see those babies. We want to see you start your families. So don't think like, well, the $299 is just too much. We offer payment plans. There's options for you to meet with the doctor and start your journey. And she will help you along the journey. So, consider that for starting your family. And so give us a call if you have questions. Like I said, email, call us, message, and we'll answer any questions that we can to help you. And so thank you for joining me this evening. And I look forward to talking with you next week. I'll answer some questions next week. We just had so many questions that I'll pull out some that came in, and I'll get to some next week. But just keep your questions coming, and you can always go online, go on our website, hopefsc.org, hopefsc, like Frank, Susie, Charlie.org. See our website, visit our holistic experts page. You can see Dr. Tyne's bio. We're real business, and we have real practitioners that work here. And so utilize that, do your homework, and we will be here when you are ready to begin your fertility journey. So you're not alone. We're here to support you, and we will be with you from the time you decide that you want to conceive until you have given birth. We would be right here with you. So I look forward to talking with you next week. Send in your messages and I will address those next week. Have a great evening, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.